All right, much like my life, I would like to get this over with. Um, this is going to video on Toshborn O having Brother K on his show. And I have to be careful how I approach this because I don't want to attack Toshborn O or his show or Comedy Central because I do not quite understand what's going on there. And maybe I'm wrong about this one episode because I'm not really sure, and I have heard from other people in the past that Tosh.0 has opinions critical of circumcision. He's not pro circumcision. He's not pro genital mutilation, and I can believe that. But he didn't seem that dim right here, and he seemed quite offended. Now maybe that has to do with the fact that he's circumcised just like I am, but also you have to keep in mind the person he was talking to was also circumcised. So I don't think it's some kind of feeling of being talked down to because like I would like to think maybe that's what it is, but I don't know what was going on here, and I don't think that he is anti-circumcision. But what I'm getting at here is I don't want to attack the guy, but I just want to talk to you about all that is wrong with this. And then you have Brother K, who is a anti circumcision advocate who again, I have had, I'm not gonna lie, I have had my criticism of him in the past. And again, he's someone out there, and he gets out there and he's getting out there and he's doing this himself. And I'm here crying on the internet, and I mean, in some cases, trying not to literally cry over this obvious issue to me that I don't see why the hell you people can't understand this as easily. And that was one good thing about this video because like this like the Jim Jeffries propaganda Comedy Central tried to run in the past, people are seeing that this is wrong. And if you look at the comment section, the majority of the comments are anti-circumcision. The majority of them seem to be coming from North America and primarily from the United States or America. So that is a good thing. But with that being said, it still seems like they're trying to make a joke out of this guy. And, I would like to chalk that up to just simply maybe they just don't want to make it legal. And like if that's all it is, I can kind of, but it seems like they're heavy duty. Like I can kind of deal with that, but it seems like they're heavy duty promoting this shit. And I'm just gonna go into some shit wrong with this, but I have to like I write down certain words that just simply remind me of what I'm talking about. I don't write down scripts. I don't tell you like I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I have to write down words to remind me of what I want to say or what my place is in a video, and that's what I'm doing here. So let's see, where do we begin? He goes into talking about how many people who are male celebrities, and I think he even showed a female celebrity or two, just for a joke in there, but he goes into talking about how many celebrities are not circumcised, male celebrities. And while you want to think this is a good thing, you also have to wonder maybe this is like his joke of like he's shaming them. It's like, would they really like you to know this? Oh, yeah, because anyone wants anyone to know what their dick is. Like, I would want you to know whether I am or not. Well, I guess I do, as I told you, but still, I mean, I'm doing that because I'm making this video, and it's important that you know that I am circumcised because I think that, I have a right to talk about this. And even if I wasn't, just because I have a penis, and even if I didn't even have a penis, like if I was a girl, I would have a son, and I should have some say on the matter or some opinion or ability to give opinion. And I'm giving you an opinion. I'm against this shit. But it's like I don't know what it was, but anyways, you make the point. Yeah, they're all celebrities and they all do fine and they all look very good. And they all have girlfriends and wives, I'm sure, and they don't need to be, and they aren't. And I'm sure plenty of them, probably majority of them, probably didn't their children. And there's no reason to do this. It's stupid. But then this is where it starts to get really ridiculous. Because then they act as if though he's going into a Planned Parenthood office, is in an abortion clinic, and not Planned Parenthood does lots of stuff besides abortion, by the way. But like that's so stupid because it's like Planned Penishood. Yeah, I get the joke. Okay, it's not as important as abortion, and whoever said it was as important. But if you were cutting off parts of girls' vaginas, whether it be skin or the clitoris, is that quite as important as having a child? If you were to cutting up any other part of the human body, let's say any other part, again, I'll come back to this later, but this a toe, maybe the pinky toe, is that as important as having a child? But would you not think that people should have a right to decide that and to decide what happens? And he's talking about he just wants to have a conversation with the doctor should he ever drawn back. And Brother K is in there. And I mean, again, he comes across as, even though they're trying to make him look like an idiot, like he's got his point. He comes across almost George Carlin-ish in the early stages of this video. And in my opinion, throughout the video, is in having his fucking point. And he's telling you the damn truth, regardless of all those stupid jokes you make and everything else. He's there and he's telling you what you want to know, and he's just there. And that's why I said I don't know what they're trying to do, and maybe there's some good stuff coming out of this video that I'm not quite understanding, and maybe I'm not looking at this right, and maybe they are giving us a fair say, and it's obviously not anti-circumcision. Maybe they were trying to take like a neutral point of view, and I've heard before, or I have heard before that Josh Porno or Daniel Tosh is anti-circumcision. I do not know if he is, but I'm just saying. It didn't seem that way, but it also goes into detail about smegma. And Brother K, one of the things says that, well, you know, they says at first 10 times, women have 10 times the amount of smegma men have. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I know that a lot of women get yeast infections, but I don't know if that's true. But I'm sure they have smegma. They have that yeast growing. They have stuff from their region. I mean, it happens, and it's like, then Tosh says something stupid in my opinion, is because he was talking to a girl. Well, isn't it cleaner for a girl not to? And he doesn't go into the bullshit about cervical cancer because that's largely been disproven in my opinion. But he does say that it would be cleaner for a girl not to have sex with a man. That is for. Oh great, because this isn't hard enough. Because he does talk about, you know, it would be cleaner for a girl to have sex with a man that is circumcised. But here's the thing. It would be cleaner for a guy to a girl that is circumcised. Like, you're doing the same fucking thing, you know. And they have 10 times the amount of stigma you have. How do you know they're not infecting you? Or better yet, how are they not infecting themselves? If they were to, if like just taking this guy on his word, let's say they had 10 times the amount of stigma, how are they not going to? I mean, they have the same issues you have. So you're going to cut out part of your dick to protect them from something when they have some of the same problems you do. But and again, we're talking about children. We're not talking about people that have sex. That's just crazy. But going beyond that, he starts to get very passionate. You know, Brother K does. And the jokes about the stupid outfits, by the way, and I'll go into detail about that, but he talks, and it's almost like he won't let Daniel Tosh talk, and maybe that's true, but I'm like that myself. I get very passionate about this subject. It's something I'm very passionate about. I don't like the subject, and I really want to hurry this up, but it's really messed up all the way around. We'll leave that there. And but he gets very passionate. Hey, you know, whatever. Blowing. I don't remember what that was about. I don't remember why I said blowing. I would think something about blowing. I don't think that's what it was. But he does go into talk about, or he talks about the white pants. And I have talked about that before, and I have warned people, these white pants are going to get you in trouble. Yeah, they're a quick attention getter at first, and maybe that does you well in the first few years, but you need to get rid of these pants because they're constantly running propaganda against you, and they have a far larger and much larger propaganda machine where they can promote anything they want, and they can take us into wars. Do you not think that if they want to mutilate your children's dick, they can't do that? You've got to get rid of these stupid pants with their blood crotches. I mean, that's just dumb. And they even said something in the beginning, I think something about like Colonel Sanders on his period, or I think it was someone else, but I mean, it might as well be that. It was just some dumb joke. And I agree. Like, if I was not familiar with the subject and I didn't know how bad this was, I would say to him, dude, why are you dressed like that? Well, okay, I understand. Yeah, you're protesting this thing, but why are you dressed that way? Like, it still doesn't make sense. And then he does say something about, well, why is your beard tied like that to look like a foreskin? And it's a beard. It doesn't look like a foreskin. That's just dumb. And it goes into detail at the end, and I'll leave that for the end. But then they say something about, he says, you don't have to have a license to perform a surgery on any other surgery on any other baby, boy or girl, but you can just take a baby and lay him on a table and mutilate his penis. And he says something sick to the effect of, or Daniel Tosh says something sick about, let's bring in the baby. And then you hear a baby crying. Now, to give them credit, they don't bring in the baby, and I will give them credit for that. But you do hear that crying. It's to make him look like an idiot, and still that's extremely disrespectful to someone like him and to someone like me that has to be wanting to watch this, because I'm disgusted by this, and I think it's sick that you do this fucking children. Or like, I think it's sick that you do that to fucking children. So it's like, let's bring in the baby. And of course they don't bring in the baby. And I hope all of that took. I can't go over it. But you hear the baby crying, and it's like, this is funny, and it is disrespectful to him, and it just one more point to, he's a kook, but you could technically, anyone without a real license to even perform the surgery or without any real regulation could do that. Do you not think that's a problem? And just to go over some things, just in case you didn't understand, he gets passionate. They act like he's a kook. They will, let me talk. And he doesn't say that, but, the white pants, I've talked about that before. That's crazy. And, or he gets passionate. They act like he's a kook, and it's kind of like almost like, let me talk, but they don't say that. But, and I very much like that when I talk about this, because it's a very sick subject, and he's telling you things you need to know. And also the white pants, because I have talked about that before. They look goofy. They're good to get attention at first. Get rid of them fast. They never did. It looks kooky. And I kind of agree with Comedy Central in a weird way. Those pants look dumb. But finally, what would you do if you were circumcised? Like, if you woke up tomorrow with your foreskin? And he says, well, I would, and they wait a long time, and he eventually says, I'd have a beer. Well, first of all, what is he supposed to say? I'm going to jack off, or I'm going to try to have sex. Pop-ups. Like, what is he? What is he supposed to say? Yeah, I'm gonna have sex and see what it's like with a foreskin. I'm gonna masturbate. No, he's gonna say, yeah, I have a beer. What is he supposed to say? Now, why it took him that damn long to say that, I couldn't understand. And like I said, I have my criticisms of that guy, even though I respect what he does, and he does more than I do about the subject. But okay, it takes you that long to say, oh yeah, I'll have a beer. That is odd. But then again, let's ask this question. Let's say it was a female. Well, you woke up tomorrow with your clitoris or any other part of your vagina or body, your breast, anything. What would you do? What is it supposed to say? I'd start fingering myself? No, I'd have a beer. Now, hopefully they wouldn't take that damn long to answer the question, and I'm still wondering what went on there, but, whatever. But that's not even the point. Like, the point is, let's say you got your toe ran over a number of years back or a few years ago, and it's like, what would happen tomorrow if you woke up tomorrow with your big toe? Okay, so that matters why. And I said that on there if the comment took, and I hope it did, but fucking shit. God damn this shit. But why would that matter? Okay, I woke up tomorrow with my big toe. So what am I supposed to do with it? I'm just glad I have my big toe. I'm happy I have my big fucking toe. Eventually I'll do whatever I do, but I'm glad to have that damn toe. I'm not going to want to have it amputated, and if I got my toe back, I'd feel better about myself. So the point is that's all bullshit. But getting back to the porn, and in the end, he goes out of the thing and he has his operation. But the thing is, it's reformed now and it's the way it's supposed to look with the foreskin. But he says they gave him too much and it looks kind of like a tell. And what the fuck that is supposed to mean, I don't know. But let's just say that it's just a joke and it was just a random joke and they just didn't do it right. And okay. Again, maybe they are being reasonable about this. And I even saw a photo after this of it looked like Brother K and Daniel Tosh kind of hugged up, or they've got his arm around it, meant like they're friends or buddies, and who knows, maybe they're friends. Maybe I'm looking too much into this. But I'm just saying it looked to me like they were making an ass out of him. But just let me tell you the real legitimate reasons as to why you shouldn't do this without Daniel Tosh making his stupid jokes, without the stupid get up and the setup, without this guy answering to his big bosses about why he should support something and ridiculing me and making me look like I'm crazy or a bad guy because I don't want to hurt children. It removed 20,000 nerve endings. It's supposed to do that pretty much, and it does. You lose 20,000 nerve endings. It removes 20,000 nerve endings. He said in the video it could remove 50%, and even some people say 70, 80% of the nerves in your penis. I think that's crazy, and it probably is nowhere close to the clitoris. But it's at least real over 20, maybe 30, 40% of the nerve of your sensitivity because it's 20,000 nerve endings. That is probably the most sensitive part of the penis, and that is the majority of the penis sensitivity, and that could be at least 50% of the penis. It could be, but it removes a large percentage of nerve endings and sensitivity in the penis. It can cause other botches. It can cause everyone has some scarification, but it can cause extreme scarification of the penis. It can cause major issues. It can remove the fuck me. It can cause other problems. It can cause the child to have to undergo a sexual reassignment surgery, the infant. And again, we're talking about motherfucking infants here, so I don't see the fucking humor. And that is to say the child could have to be castrated, and sometimes they go on to kill themselves. One famous case did that because they wanted him to live as a girl because that proved that children could be brought up of any gender. So it would be a win for my side on the gender end, but it didn't work that way, and he did kill himself. For whatever reason, it happened. There are cases, again, and there are cases where children die from shock and they die from blood loss and they die. And there's other cases, I think they can die in other ways, and it can kill up to between 50 and 100 children, 150 and 120 children a year, and it does. So between 50 and 120 children a year die. That is between 50 and 100 children a year. 50 and 120 children a year die from this, and you're making a goddamn joke out of it, and I don't see the fucking humor. And again, it can cause neurological problems. We know that. And those are the reasons why you shouldn't do that. If you stayed with this, it has been a very joiny, jumpy, lopsided video with pop-ups. And I'm not sure, like, I kept that one thing that told me what to say on too long, and I hope that didn't fuck up my video. And I know you don't want me to saw one of your TV shows, and I don't know if I was right or wrong, and maybe they were trying to make the best out of the subject, and people did seem to agree with Brother K, and it did give him more attention, and maybe I'm wrong about this, and I really hope that Daniel Tosh wasn't just trolling him, but it looked that damn way to me, and I'm not a smart man, like Forrest Gump, I'm not a smart man, but I'm pretty damn sure when somebody's making fun of me, and it came across that fucking way to me. Then again, I thought someone else was making fun of me today about this same subject, and they weren't, and I feel like an asshole, and she was being legitimately serious, and I didn't really know how to look at it, but again, the point is, it's not funny, and a lot of people have serious opinions about this, and again, like the one part of the video where they joke about bringing a child, and they don't do it, but there's like the crying, and then they stop, and okay, fine, they didn't do it, but so I'm not offended or anything, but it's just that entire thing. Could you imagine if that was a girl and they were bringing her out to have her clitorectomy, or even to have her ear pierced or anything else? Like, just make a big fucking joke out of this. And again, I'm here talking about I don't even want to have my daughter's ears pierced, and I think that's wrong. And you're still trying to figure out, should we have a child's genitals? It's bullshit. But P666.